Hey guys, out here in brisk East Tennessee, you can see there's frost on the grass. It's 31 degrees right now, which brings this video, I guess, even more to the forefront, I hope. Don't forget the folks here in East Tennessee and Western North Carolina that have been decimated by the hurricane and the flood. And I want to thank Wranglerstar. Yep, the Wranglerstar, for coming all the way from the Pacific Northwest here to help out our folks, our neighbors, our brothers and sisters in need. He's here helping, running through Grindstone Ministries. Again, great organization. Support them, guys. And also, I want to thank the sponsor of the video. It's TriStar Trading. I am in my zip-up Wubby jacket in the Desert Tiger Stripe. I love it. There's 4 colors. I'll link it down below. They allowed me to purchase all of their Wubby blankets. Sorry, I made them sell out, but I donated them right to Grindstone Ministries, and they brought them to the folks in the mountains because it's 31 here. Up at the elevation, it's in the 20s. These people have no heat, no electricity for like 3 to 4 months up in the mountains, from what they're being told by the grid personnel. So with that, here's Wranglerstar again. Thank you, sir, for coming all the way out, Cody. It means a lot to us here in East Tennessee. And again, thank you so much. Here's the video. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Guns and Gadgets. We are on scene at Grindstone Ministries here in Jonesboro, Tennessee, where they have been helping for 3 weeks now with the devastation that Hurricane Helene brought. And one of our fellow YouTube countrymen has joined us from the Pacific Northwest, Mr. Wranglerstar. Cody, man, thank you so much for coming out and helping our folks.
My pleasure. It's nice to meet you all.
Same. It's our honor to have you here, and to know, like, just like we watch you, somebody puts their money where the mouth is, and just thank you for coming out when we needed the help.
Well, maybe you'd return the favor when our volcano blows up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So most of my people watch your channel, and you're all about prepping. Is there something that you saw here that you suggest people might want to put higher up on their preps?
Yeah, have a plan in place. I know a lot of us have the gear. You know, what happened to me, we just had a big wildland fire that came down and was threatening our home towards the end of summer. And, I consider myself to be pretty squared away. But, man, when we really needed to move and needed to have coordination, we found some serious flaws. One was like radio communications. We had the radios, we had the programming, and kind of had them in there, but we hadn't trained with them and hadn't used them, and we were not at all on the same page. And it was a huge hole. So that was a real wake-up call for us, because we were on the back foot and not productive. We're not able to get the community together, to get resources coordinated, and that was an eye-opener for us. So these things are all cool. The fun guy and the guns and the gear and all that stuff is all cool, but you really gotta look at the nuts and bolts of it. And communication is the #1 thing that I really learned from this and from my experience this summer.
Awesome. Now, for many people who, unfortunately, we've all witnessed the destruction here and the victims of the storm. If somebody's watching this and they're like, hey, you know what? I need to start prepping. I've been making fun of these folks for years. Maybe it's time to start thinking like them. If somebody wanted to start ground zero, what's maybe 3 things somebody should just right away start pecking away at?
Well, you just got to look at, the ABCs of survival. How are you going to deal with exposure? Yep. If your house, if the roof, what's your environment? Do you have trees? Do you have windstorms? You're going to have tarps. You got to deal with your house. How am I going to survive and protect my family and keep them from being exposed to the cold and deal with that? Do you have alternative way to heat? Do you have heaters? Do you have a wood stove? Even if you don't implement all these things, at least have them on hand so that you can have a plan. When this happens, we're going to do this. Then it's water. How are we going to deal with water? Do you have access? Can you get the well pump going? Most people think, well, I'm on a well, I'm good. Well, those are 240.
Right.
Do you have a 240 generator? Do you know how to splice in? Do you know how to feed your panel so you can get that water out, because you're not dropping a rope in a bucket down a 8-inch casing?
Right.
So maybe some infiltration, that sort of thing. So, and then food. There's no reason why every family shouldn't have 30 days, 3 months would be better for your family. We got freeze-dried food now you can buy, or you can get a harvest right, do it yourself. It's affordable and it lasts for a long time. Cover those 3 things, and then just have the 4th would be fuel. Do you have the ability to fuel up your cars? I would have a full tank of gas for everything that I owned, a week's worth of gas for a generator, just those basic things where you can self-support yourself for a week or so. If you think you're prepped, take the weekend and hit that main breaker.
Yeah.
And go live 48 hours, and you'll find out really quick where your holes are.
Right, exactly. One of the things that I did immediately after the storm hit was realize the hole in my communications, and I went and bought a Starlink Mini so that I can help our community, because there's a lot of people here that still have no comms. And with Starlink, we can utilize Elon Musk and his satellite to get people online and do FaceTime to their family and let them know that they're okay. And that's something I learned here watching this here.
Absolutely. I was on the same with you. I didn't have one. We use Starlink because we're so remote, but we have, hard mounted ones. When I watched this unfold, and I watched some YouTubers. I watched a YouTuber that had a helicopter that just decided to grab with some buddies and to go, and he had a Starlink. He landed not too far from here, and folks had been cut off for 4 days, I believe. And him and that Starlink, he was right there. He watched them make contact with their family and tell them for the first time that they were alive. And when I saw that, I told my wife, I'm like, order one right now. I actually brought it with me, and I've been using it the whole time.
Yeah, they're awesome.
What a tremendous capability.
Yeah, and I'll give him a shout out, not that I'll ever see this, but Elon Musk has made service for our area. Everything that was affected by the hurricanes, it's free to the end of the year. So if you can get some to utilize to help your community contact loved ones, because there's still areas here in Tennessee that are cut off. Same with Western North Carolina.
I can't overestimate the importance of communication.
It's huge.
Start locally with your family so that you can have a source that's going to be independent of cellular, and then expand from that. We started with small radios, the Baofangs,
Yep.
and then a man pack, and now we got big antennas. We're to the point now where we have a communication system would be an envy of some small communities. And we test it, and we hand out radios, and we have our neighbors come in. My personal assistant, we got him up to speed. He programs radios for the community. We just tell them you don't have to know everything. We have a quick start guide. Here's how to turn it on. Here's how to scan. These are the channels that we're on. Yep. And here's how to lock the keys. And that's the most important. They lock the keys and hand it to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just want to thank you personally for coming out here to our area and helping out and pitching in, because we've seen the government fail us time and time again, and it did here in this storm. And it's Americans helping Americans is what it's all about. Thank you for caring enough to come across the country and helping us.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, man. Till we see each other again, y'all, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. If you haven't subscribed and don't know what you're waiting for, I'll have a link to his channel down below. It's Wranglerstar in person here in East Tennessee.